Hi, I'm Kevin Janaway, and I'm here to interview Michelle Mazzarino on Street Smart Guide, brought to you by the one and only Izzy Church. Okay, so tell us, Michelle, what you had a show recently for Halloween. How did that go?
That was fun. I dressed up as a punk rock clown. And we were over at Broadway Comedy Club, and we had a decent-sized house, and it was a blast.
That's so funny you said about clowns. Like, that was something like everybody was supposed to love clowns as a little kid, but everybody's scared of clowns.
Yeah.
So were people scared of you, or did that work?
No, I had some woman in the comedy club with her boyfriend say, "I want to take a picture with you, you're hot." So
she's a hot clown.
So we took pictures together, me, the boyfriend, and then the girlfriend.
Yeah, that's cool.
They were into me.
Gave Bozo the Clown a run for his money.
Yeah.
Anyway, did you watch the Bozo show growing up? Or was that...
Sometimes.
Because I remember as a kid, my mom thought that since I was a little kid, I would just love clowns. And she would be like, "Oh, wake up, Bozo's on." And it was just dumb.
Yeah.
A dumb show.
I think I was more into Romper Room with the mirror and Imagination Time.
Okay, I don't remember that. And Electric Company, Bill Cosby did that. You remember that? Fat Albert and all that.
I do.
Now, they couldn't come out with Fat Albert. That would be too controversial. Probably have to go to Jenny Craig.
Right.
Anyway, so... were there anybody on TV that you found really funny growing up, or live performances that, influenced you or you thought stood out?
Well, I think Something Like It Hot was one of the first movies that I saw when I was like 8. And I was in awe of Marilyn Monroe in that. And I couldn't believe the comedic, chemistry that they had, Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin, and I was just like, oh my God, they're total goofballs. I'm in love with them. So I would watch all theirs, and Abbott and Costello every Sunday. My brother and I, we'd sit and watch Abbott and Costello and just the black and whites, or Godzilla. But but every Sunday we'd watch all the comedy and just laugh and and I loved them as a kid. They were great.
See, my mom really liked Abbott and Costello. She also liked Laurel and Hardy. I didn't get into Laurel and Hardy, but I think they were funny during their day.
Yeah, they were. There's that Toy Soldiers, that Christmas movie, where those scary fucking monkeys and these elves, they're so creepy. I have nightmares about them as a kid.
But my mom also, she introduced, because my mom thought that everything on TV was sin. She was a preacher's daughter, so MTV was trash. All these things we weren't supposed to watch. We watched it anyway, but she also really enjoyed Peter Sellers. Did you like Peter Sellers? And we watched all the Pink Panther movies.
Yes, I was a huge fan of his as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really liked him, and it's sad. Apparently, in real life, he was kind of nuts or whatever. And
I didn't know that.
He didn't treat he was always on, and then when he wasn't on, he was a scary person or whatever.
I didn't know.
And also, his kids were supposed to inherit all this money, but he was in the process of getting divorced from his wife, who was a drug addict, and he died, and all the money went to her, and then his daughter got $6,000. And that was it. And you're like, your dad's Peter Sellers. But enough about that. Regarding the sadness of the dark side of comedy, shall we? What about the death of Robin Williams or Joan Rivers? Was that...
Well, it's just so, it wasn't a surprise to me. Because I know Joan had a problem with surgery. She was addicted to plastic surgery, and... She actually did a video, I think, to her daughter, or not a video, or wrote something, "If I die in surgery, it's because I have to get this tucked in." It was like a thing that she had told her daughter about. So it was like she knew. She even was very open about the addiction to the plastic surgery. She was just very clear about it. And she'd make jokes about it, but that's probably, I hope they investigate it. I hope that they sue,
Yeah. Wow. See, Michelle's got the red dress, red on. She's setting off all these sirens because we're in New York, and Michelle's a native New Yorker. So
I am.
Yeah, she's from here. And recently, I'm from the South, so I haven't had like certain New York things. But there's also things up here that they don't have down there and whatnot. But I had never had a Napoleon, and she introduced me to that. What is a Napoleon?
Napoleon. It's a short complex that men have because of that great leader back in the day, French and Italian mixed. So no, anyway, yes, I will. I showed Kevin my first Italian kind of dessert. So it was either that or cannoli.
Yeah, because she's a true Italian.
My parents are right off the boat from Italy. I'm first gen American.
Yeah.
And both my parents' last names are on Ellis Island Wall from both sides because they all came over from Ellis.
So she's in the Ellis Island Walk of Fame with the handprints and everything.
So, yeah, and my mother, when she immigrated, she was, in Mulberry Street, the 5 of them in a 1-bedroom.
Oh, God.
My father was brought over in Brooklyn. Yeah.
So were you around in New York, since we're on arts, were you around here you were probably very small, the whole Andy Warhol scene and all that?
Oh, I wasn't, no. I was in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were a little kid then.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, the Greenwich Village and all that was totally different than it is now. Like, when I came here, everything was, like, luxury and expensive. And, like, in the 70s and 80s, it was all, like, artists living there, and you didn't want to live there.
Right.
And now it's, like...
And there was crime, actually, in Soho.
Okay.
It was, like, that's the only reason why the artists settled there, because it was cheap and huge space that you could paint and make your sculptures in, and there was a ton of crime down there. If you see that movie, what is that called? There's a movie that depicts it really well, where this guy's a 24-hour something. I forget the name of the film, but he's running all night, and he runs into Linda Florentino in an artist studio, and he gets robbed, and I forget the movie. It's at the tip of my tongue. Anyway.
But what was the artist you saw recently? Michelle's very out in the art scene and the museums and stuff, and you saw the artist who had made the sculptures out of the sugar cubes.
Oh, yeah.
What was
Kara Walker?
Tell us about that.
Oh, over in the Domino Sugar Factory. It was astronomical. It was extraordinary. It depicts so many different things. I mean, from slavery to American culture, American slavery of the African Americans and children working in sugar fields, and then the rape of black women. So it was really extraordinary what she did by using sugar in these molds and utilizing the Domino factory.
But she made statues, because I saw your pictures on Facebook.
Yeah,
like, some of them were like life-size, like Sphinx looking things.
Yeah.
She made out of the Domino sugar.
Yes, and it was a huge statement on, her part as, black women and being raped and just used in the fields. It's just it just spoke volumes of the culture, and just for women in general, aside from black women, just women in general, the exploitation of them and children. It was amazing though, and I believe they closed the sugar factory down after that exhibit because of they sold the factory, and they're going to make luxury condos.
Right. How are we going to have luxury condos when we don't have luxury jobs in New York? Yeah. Isn't that crazy how you have to wait for 5 years on a waiting list for affordable housing and have W-2s out the ass? But like to pay like more than what you make, you just walk down the street and get it. Like, isn't that illogical?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's true, because I'm trying to get on the affordable housing list, and that's hardcore. But de Blasio's trying to like create a bunch more, and they need to.
Yeah.
Because Bloomberg made all those $3,000 a month houses. I'm like, yeah, then get me a job that pays $3,000 a week.
Right.
Right.
Fancy
Fancy that. Anyway, that was just my opinion. I'm sorry. So, have you seen any celebrities lately on the street?
I did. The other day, I was waiting for my friend on the C line at 23rd Street, and I saw Christian Slater. And he had like a cap on and scruff beard and a North Face. And he's a little guy. And I've seen him before in the streets and stuff, but I did see him. And I didn't say anything, but I don't say anything to them. I just, either I nod or smile.
Yeah, because around the 23rd Street area, I've seen, we talked about this, Ethan Hawke, and how he downplays it too. Like, he tries to dress like real homeless. And like, but he would like push his child around. It's like, but yeah, so Christian Slater, what happened to him? He was in,
I think, isn't he on a TV show now?
Did he have a drug problem or something?
Yeah, he got sober years ago in Hollywood. That was like a big thing.
Because he was like really famous, and then he went away, and then...
Yeah, he got sober, and I think he's on a TV show now, isn't he? On like Fox.
It's on the Michelle Mazzarino
show. It's on Fox
show.
or Channel 9.
Wow.
So one of those the littler guys, yeah.
That's cool. From Fox. Hopefully not Fox. Well, yeah, Fox is crazy. I won't say anything about Fox. Because we like foxes. Foxy ladies, like Michelle.
Okay, thank you.
Anyway, okay, so we talked about Halloween and Napoleon, and we talked about who you find funny. Is anybody in your family comical or... Oh, yeah, you also take improv classes, too, which is really great. And she's worked with some really great teachers and whatnot at the Pit, right?
Yes, the Pit's pretty great. Pretty fabulous. I came up with, like, a lot of different characters. Being in improv, you're able to, like, a Scottish chimney sweep guy who hangs out in airports and hits on girls.
Wow.
Yeah, and he smokes a lot of cigars and cigarettes. Yeah.
So do you smoke when you play him or not?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then there's another girl I came up with, Sonia. She works at the Mini Mart. And she smokes too because she has nothing to do. It's up in rural, Pennsylvania.
Where is she?
And she hangs out in the backyard and watches rabbits and smokes.
That sounds thrilling.
Yeah.
So where's she from? Where's she from?
Rural Pennsylvania.
That's where she lives.
Yeah.
Okay,
These are just characters I'm developing.
That's great.
All because of improv. Like, they help you, the exercises you do, you find them in your body.
But speaking of improv and speaking of dialects in Pennsylvania, you might have to cut this. But have you ever been to Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh. No.
Where people have the most annoying accent under the sun. And they're like, would you like a Pepsi or a Coke? Which row are you sitting in?
Which
and I'm
row?
like, you really say your O's like that. Like, they really pronounce things like that. And then one time I heard this guy, overheard a conversation, he was like, oh yeah, I'm from Pittsburgh. I was like, oh no. And he goes, yeah, I'm going to go home for the weekend.
Home?
I was like, you actually pronounce it like it has 3 O's.
Yeah.
You're like, I get so tired of your jokes. But like, that's how they talk. I'm like, that's a joke. That sounds like a cartoon character voice. Sounds like the Supper Club. But they say joke.
Joke.
And coke.
Coke.
I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe, I'm sure your character doesn't talk like that.
She's in development. They're in development.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
So tell us, Michelle, do you have any projects coming out soon? Improv shows or plays or...
Well, I audition a lot, and I get called in a lot, and I basically, I do stand-up, like, once in a while when I'm in between either plays or films. And so right now I'm just auditioning a lot and doing my character work, building on my characters.
Yeah.
And I actually did some of my characters for an audition recently that they asked me to do, and they really loved it. So it was the first time that I came and did my characters for an audition, and they were like into it. So it was pretty cool.
Wow.
I did my chimney sweep guy, and I did my Sonia girl, and they were into it.
Oh, wow.
So,
and you smoked in the interview? Or?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
No, I mean, improv smoke. Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wonder if there's anything else I should ask Miss Mazzarino.
Well, if you want to find my information, I am on Actors Access as Michelle Mazzarino. I have my reel and my headshot there. And I'm also on Instagram. You can follow me, M Mazzarino. And I just usually document my day-to-day art excursions
Yeah,
or
she has a lot.
interesting people that I run into.
And
So.
are you on Twitter or no?
I don't twit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't twit.
I know.
But I am on Facebook as well. You could reach me there.
I know.
Michelle G. Mazzarino.
Yeah, Michelle Gina Mazzarino.
G.
Yeah. Okay, so we're wrapping things up, and thank you for watching Michelle Mazzarino interviewed by Kevin Janaway on Street Smart Guide.